Confetti Girls. Today, we are talking about tattoos. Brides with tattoos. What do you do if you've got tattoos? And all people are being like, oh my god, you're gonna cover up your tattoos?
I think
everyone's gonna know what we're gonna say.
we are talking about alternative weddings and non-traditional weddings predominantly on this channel.
Yeah.
And I feel that the days of tattoos being ugly on your wedding day are gone.
I think there's nothing better than a bride wearing a really amazing dress, whether it's traditional or non-traditional, and just been like covered in tats. I think it looks so cool.
It looks very cool. I think that it's definitely a generation gap, the two opinions. The people that say to you, oh, what are you gonna look like on your wedding day when you've got tattoos, are probably predominantly older.
Well, they're people that just don't like tattoos anyway, so they're gonna say that whatever.
I think the best advice is to ignore it and do whatever you want to do. I personally think that tattoos look fucking great, and if my wedding dress personally accentuates them.
I didn't have this when I got married.
Hey?
I got it like a few years after, and I wish I did. Look at my bear.
Oh my god!
What about if you have tattoos that you don't like if you've got some shit?
Oh well, that's where so I don't really like my legs, and I purposefully wanted a long dress because I wanted to cover them up. When I'm wearing formal mode, I don't mind my arm tattoos being on show, but I do mind my leg tattoos being on show. But that's just me. That's just my preference about my tattoos. Yeah. And because I feel like the ones on my legs are kind of not stupid, but they are a bit stupid tattoos. Like they're like my jokey tattoos, whereas the ones up here are more serious and well done and everything. I'm also not saying the ones on my leg are shit, but I'm just saying that they're cool and cash and me, everyday me, but if I'm being formal and smart, I'd rather them being covered up, if I'm honest.
Which is fine either way.
Yeah.
It's your body. So what do you think you should do if someone like your granny or whatever says, what are you gonna do about your tattoos? I guess you just have to be like, well, they're part of me, so I'm gonna have them on show.
I think it depends.
To be like a strong woman and be like, this is me.
Yeah, well, I really honestly think it depends how you approach it, depends on your relationship with that person. Yeah. So, like, if you're not particularly close with that person, or you don't normally have banter, for example, my mum is pretty savage sometimes with some of her comments, and I'm like, fuck off, you bitch, savage. So if my mum was to be like, oh, I think you should cover your tattoos up on your wedding, I'd be like, fuck off, mum.
I don't think so.
Because I can.
Yeah.
Because she won't be like, oh, that's rude.
You might not say it to your nanny.
Yeah, but your nanny might be like, that's when you're like, well, grandma, I want them on show. And then they have to be like, okay.
Or you could just be like, thanks, I'll think about that later. Yeah. And then just leave. Like, you don't have to, like, answer. I know. Do you? It's, like, your body.
You know what would be, like, one thing that could potentially happen, which could be totally, like, awful, is, like, on your wedding day, when I'm going, oh, you do look nice, but it's such a shame that you had these on.
Do you know what, right? This is related, but slight tangent. I was in the supermarket recently, and the checkout woman was, like, checking my stuff out. She was like, oh, I do love your hair. And I was like, oh, thank you so much. She went, I really don't like the tattoos though. Like, tattoos on women are a bit gross. And I was like, whoa, okay. And now, whenever I see her in the supermarket, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to your till because you're a dick.
I do honestly think a lot of this shit is down to generations. Yeah. And I think a lot of the time, you just gotta take a deep breath and ignore it.
Because it's very unlikely that you got tattoos to, like, please other people. So why would you change now for your wedding? Yeah. I think you're more likely to regret covering them up than just being yourself.
Just to make a very small, tiny percentage of people happy. It's your day and your day to celebrate and be expressive.
A lot of people who are into tattoos I speak to actually get tattoos specifically for their wedding, which I think is cool.
Awesome. I'd rather do that than go on a diet to be thin for my wedding.
Yeah.
Let's get tattooed.
Who wants to be thin when there's cake and wine?
But I would actually, we would like to know your opinion on the matter. Yes. Let's start a discussion in the comments. We'll reply to them. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.